Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be creating self-portraits inspired by the one and only author illustrator Barbara Reid. So let's do it. Okay, so to start, I'm just going to go through the materials you need. You need a piece of cardstock paper, a nice thick piece of paper to hold the weight of the modeling clay, and then you need some modeling clay. So I got this pack from the dollar store. It was $1.25, and this can go a long way with a lot of kids. I think when I did this for a class, I did about 4 packs, and a lot of parents love to donate this stuff too. I prefer to use these ones opposed to the big block ones because these are a lot softer and a lot easier for the kids to mold. I find the block ones are really stiff and you have to mold them yourself first before you give them to the kids. So these are great. And that's all you need. So I'm just going to use my open pack that I already have. And I'm just going to show you quickly how to make different skin tones. So I made this peach just by mixing a bit of orange, white, and black. Okay, and so you can also use those colors I showed you in the painting of how to mix skin tones. So blue, red, and yellow, the primary colors, and different levels of each color will give you different shades of brown. But another easier way is to use orange and white and black. So I'm going to start by mixing a little bit of black with orange to create a brown. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit of time. What I used to do is I would get a group of students who really wanted to help me mix, and they would just sit there and mix tons of colors, and that was an activity in itself. They loved it. So you just have to squeeze it through your fingers for a little while until the colors actually start mixing together. Now, if you find the brown is too orange, you can always add a bit more black if you want it a bit darker, or if you want it a bit more red, you can do that too. But as you see, as you start to squish it, it starts to turn a different color, okay? So this is really great for color mixing too. And it's a great way to strengthen their hands, especially for the little ones. Okay, so here I have a brown, and then to make like a peach, you can just lighten it up, make a light brown. You can add a bit more orange if you want to make it more peachy. And you just do this until you get the color that you desire for your skin tone. So like I said, I had a group of kids make tons of different skin tones. So when all the students came individually to do their portrait, they just had to pick out which is the closest to their skin tone. Okay? So I'm just going to finish mixing this and then we will start. Okay, so now that I have the colors that I need, obviously I didn't mix tons and tons of colors because I'm only doing my portrait, but I have a skin tone and I have a light brown for my hair, and then the rest of the colors I can use for other details. So for this project, you don't need very much. Like, this will be my face, okay? So you're gonna wanna sit with the kids and you're gonna wanna kind of ration out the clay, just because they can get a little carried away and they think they may need more than they do, but they really don't. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take a little piece like this and you're gonna roll it in a ball, okay, like that. And you're gonna find the place that you wanna put your head, okay? And you're just gonna squish it down. And it looks small, but what you have to do is you just have to squish it so you can make it bigger. Use those finger muscles. There's a little bit of blue in there, that's okay. Okay, and that little piece ended up being a really decent size head, okay? So just move your finger along, try and smooth it out in the shape of a face, maybe a bit more pointy at the bottom. Use your fingertips like that, okay? And make that shape of your head just by squishing it down. This also helps it stick to the paper. So that little piece ended up being a really good size for the head. Then you're gonna need some more for your neck. Again, you don't need much. Here's a little piece. I'm just going to kind of create a little bit of a snake like that, not a big one. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of my head and I am going to stick it down and squish it so it becomes a bit fatter. Just move it out like that. And this is also why it's really great to have this type of clay, because it's really easy to squish, especially for those little hands. for the kids. Okay, and there's my neck. Okay, next we're gonna make our ears. Now you need even smaller pieces, like I'm talking tiny little balls for the ears. Okay, grab 2 little pieces that are around the same size, roll them with your fingertips into balls, and you just put them on either side of your head. There are your ears, okay? Next, we are going to create a nose. So again, a really small piece. And we're gonna create a little ball with your fingertips, whoops. And you may think this may look a little difficult, especially for some of my your younger students, but with a little bit of help, honestly, the younger students can do it. It just takes a little bit of practice, especially if you show them exactly how to do it. Okay, so we have a little ball. What you're gonna do is you're gonna pinch one side so you see it's kind of like a point, a triangle, and then you're gonna flatten that side. So you're making a triangle. And then you're gonna press it down slightly, and you have a bit of a triangle. Again, pinch the top, flatten the bottom, and flatten it. And there you have a triangle for your nose, okay? So stick it where your nose is gonna be, and then you're going to press the top of that triangle down. That's the bridge of your nose, okay? And you're gonna kind of leave, and see if you can blend it into the face, okay? And you're gonna leave that little part up. I had some kids who also really liked taking toothpicks and making their nostrils. You could do that. Toothpicks are also great tools to use for this. Okay, and they made their nostrils just like that. Super easy. Smooth it out. Okay, now we are going to do our eyes. Now remember, our eyes have white in it, and then they have a pupil. So you're gonna take really, honestly, tiny pieces of the white. One, and the same as the other one. Again, if you need to ration it out for the kids and get these tiny pieces for them, go for it. I used to have to do that with some of my younger ones. You're gonna place them where you want on your face, and then you're just gonna press them down so they get bigger. Like that. And then you're gonna pick your eye color. I have light brown eyes. So I am going to take tiny, tiny little pieces again, roll them into balls, and squish it on top of that white eye so you can see the white in your eyes. And now if you really want to go a step further, take an even tinier piece, like the tiniest little piece, and put it on top for your pupil, okay? Just like that. Ta-da! You have some eyes. Okay. And then if you want to add some more detail, but I like to put some stuff on my eyelashes, so I make my eyelashes a bit darker. Maybe you can make them light brown, or if you have nice dark eyelashes, you're going to roll out tiny, tiny little snakes like this, okay? Tiny, tiny little snakes. And then you're going to take your toothpick that you have here, and you can actually use the toothpick to cut it in half. And you can, I'm gonna roll it one more time. You can even pick up these tiny pieces with the toothpick and put it on top. Sorry, this is a decoration for Halloween that I'm using right now because I can't find my toothpicks. And you can put it on top of your eye like that. Now, obviously this is going a step further for some of our more older advanced students, so you don't have to do this if it is too difficult, but it just adds a little something extra. And then you can add individual little eyelashes if you like. So cut it with your toothpick and add another eyelash like that. And sometimes it's hard to move it around. You can always take it off though if you like. Okay, it's just all about practice. So I gotta do that one again. It's a little tricky, but you just need to concentrate and move slow. Press it down with your toothpick, like this. And another eyelash there. Okay. And so there's my eyelashes. Okay, So now we have our eyes and our nose, and we're gonna do our mouth. So our mouth is similar to the same color as our skin, but maybe it's a bit more pink. So you can always take your skin color and some pink and mix that up. Or you can use skin color, or you can use a light brown or dark brown, whatever color your lips are, just to make it a bit different than the color of your face, just so it stands out. Okay, and I'm gonna make a snake again, like this, just using my 2 fingers to roll it back and forth. Okay, I'm gonna take my toothpick and I'm gonna cut off a little piece, like this, and I'm gonna put it on my face. Okay, I'm gonna squish it down a little bit. Then I'm gonna take my toothpick and I'm going to turn up the corners of my mouth. And this, if this is too hard too, you can always just take that little piece, make a little mouth, like a smile like this, and stick it straight on, okay? So actually, let's just do that. For now, we don't need to make lips, but if you want to make lips, you totally can. Actually, I'll make 2 lips, ready? So I'll make one that's curved, like this. You gotta be so patient with this. But actually, surprisingly, the kids' hands work better because they're smaller. So just put it into the position you like. Squish it down, then I'm gonna put this top piece with the top lip. Okay? And there you go, there's your mouth. Now we're gonna work on our hair and our eyebrows. So I'm gonna take this light brown that I made for my hair, and I'm going to take a little piece, create a snake, nice thin snake, and I'm gonna cut off some pieces for my eyebrows. 1 and 2. Remember, we can't forget our eyebrows. Our eyebrows show people our emotions. Okay, now we're gonna do our hair. So I'm gonna take this piece that I have and I'm gonna split it into 2, and I'm gonna create bigger snakes like this. 1, 2. And I'm just going to put it on top of my head, and I'm going to curve it down. You can go in front of your ears, behind your ears, whatever you like. And I'm just going to press it down. Put the other side on, like this. And now it looks like I have a little bit of hair, right? So we want to press it down and smooth it out to make it look bigger. So just use your fingers and drag it slowly and just start squishing it into the shape you want your hair. So it looks like I didn't have a lot, right? But you really got to use some pressure with your fingertips to squish it out and flatten those pieces. Okay? Squish it. You can kind of see my ear. That's okay. Might take a little bit more. Just tuck in here. Like that. Okay? And you can always take your toothpick. You can do lines to create texture. If you have wavy hair, you can do wavy lines or curls, whatever you want. I'm gonna straighten that out though, because my hair is straight today. Okay. And you can also do that at the bottom too, to create the texture at the bottom. Just like that. Okay. And there you go, there's your face. Now, if you're wondering if this is gonna be too hard for you, trust me, it's not. I've had 4-year-olds do this and they look great. Just step by step, slow, and have fun with it, okay? It doesn't have to look like this. We want it to look like you, and we want you to try your best. Okay, so there we have our face, our whole face and our hair and everything. Now you get to pick your clothes. So I'm actually gonna be wearing green. I think I mixed this green before. Nice dark green, my favorite color. And I am going to separate it in half. And I'm gonna create a ball. And I'm going to stick it at the bottom of my neck. And I'm just going to start bringing it down. Okay, because it has to go around my neck. My hair is in front of my shirt, so that's why we're going around it. Now, if you want your students to create their whole bodies, they can do that. If you want them just to create the top portion, you can do that. It's really up to you what your students, can do, what they want to do. There you go. And I also have to create arms. So my shoulders would usually be right under my hair. So we're gonna pretend that there's shoulders under there, and then we're just gonna have the arms coming down. Now my arms aren't this skinny, so we need to press it down and make them thicker, right? And they connect to the body under here. So I'm just actually gonna create just the top part of my body. I'm not gonna do legs and all that stuff. So we're gonna pretend that this is my picture frame, and maybe they can like design a picture frame, or you can cut out smaller pieces, whatever you wanna do, okay? When I did this with my students, we did just the top portion and just little smaller pictures, and they created a little frame. It was really cute. Take some of that off. Like this, and you can create designs. I've had kids write what was on their shirt, creating letters out of this. Dinosaurs, stars, stripes on their shirts. Whatever you want, maybe necklaces, earrings. Okay, like I can create, because you see this ear, we'll just put an earring there. Doop, like that, okay? You can create a necklace. It's all up to you how detailed you want to make this, okay? And there you go. You can give them markers to draw around. But that's about it. That's how easy this is, okay? You just need a little bit of time and patience, and you just need to really work it with your fingers, okay? So remember, if you have different types of hair, if you have little bits of short hair, you can just do that one curved snake at the top and then just press it down. If you have pigtails, you can always create another snake and then push it down like that. If you want to create a bow in your hair or a headband, do it, okay? Here are some examples of my previous JK and SK students' work. They did an incredible job. And if you're looking for a way to display the artwork when it's done, I just use some plastic sheets or even plastic sandwich bags to protect the clay. But that's about it. I can't wait to see what you guys do with the clay, and yeah, I hope you guys have fun. Thank you all so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it, and I hope you learned something. Don't forget, if you want to connect with me and send me pictures of your artwork, I'd love to see. Just head on over to my Instagram @mrs.booksandbrushes. Hope you all have a wonderful day. See you later. Bye.